Greetings, family. Dr. Joe here, and on today, I'll be chronicling and talking to you about my transformation because I know there are probably many of you who are looking to change your life. And hopefully, as I go over my transformation and kind of break down the phases of what I had to go through, it'll give you more insight for you and your process to make and to reach and to attain your personal transformative goals. When I was in my late 20s, and I'm 43 now, I was 330 pounds. And the first thing that I did is I made up in my mind that I wanted to change. So phase one of transformation is making up your mind that you want to change and you want to transform. You can't do it for other reasons. You can't do it because of the results that you see other people get. Those are marketing ploys that are used to bring people in who aren't engaged in doing what they have to do to get the results that they need. So phase one of transformation is you have to make up in your mind that you are sick and tired of where you are. You're sick and tired of how your clothes fit, of how you look in the mirror, of just not feeling your best possible self. The second phase of my transformation was I had to have a plan. And whenever you're trying to transform your life, if it's losing weight, if it's ridding yourself from drugs, alcohol, whatever it is, you have to have a plan. You have to have for me, I had to have a certain type of dietary outline that I was following that could take me from where I was to where I needed to be. A lot of people will want to lose weight, but you have no plan. So the second thing that I want you to understand, if you want to transform, you need a plan. Are you going to be a vegan? Are you going to be a meat eater? Are you going to try a certain type of diet? But whatever plan you have to be certain that that plan keeps you in a caloric deficit. For me, I didn't want to try a diet. That's when I educated myself and became a nutritionist and studied nutrition. I wanted to see, to know and to understand what foods did when I ate them. And that's why in the processes with 40 Days with Dr. Joe, whether people are coming through the 40-day turn up or the Journey 3.0, that I'm teaching people macronutrients, proteins, carbs, and fats, how to collectively combine those meals, how to put them together, how to be certain that you're eating balanced in a way that optimizes fat loss while still being in caloric deficit. And when you put those two things together, when you're eating balanced meals in a caloric deficit, you're not hungry. And when a person is not hungry and when they're satisfied, you can adhere to what it is that you're doing. Phase three of my transformation was, believe it or not, adhering and sticking to the process. You got to fall in love with the process. You have to be consistent. That means that no longer could I just eat right for 2 days or 3 days. And a lot of people will do that. They'll eat right for 2 days, for 3 days, for a week, and then they'll stop. And then they'll start back, and then they'll stop. And all the stopping and starting keeps them where they have always been. Once you make up your mind you want to change, once you have the plan, you have to be in love with the process. Day in and day out, I didn't let anything deviate me from what I was trying to accomplish until I reached my goal. And that's how you have to be. And the key is knowing that the longer you do it, the easier it becomes to avoid the other things that you're trying to avoid in life. So you have to have that process. First, I started with making up my mind, followed a plan, becoming in love with the process. Number four, and what you won't hear a lot of people say when you're transforming, is your first failure. This is important because as you are going through your transformative process, there will come a time when you have a failure, when you're going to fall off the wagon, when you're going to eat something that you shouldn't eat, when you're going to have that weekend to where you splurge and it makes you feel terrible. It's going to happen. Not speaking those things into existence, but it's just a part of transformation. You're going to have a time when you fall down. But the key to when you fall down and when you fail is that you learn from that mistake. And is that you learn that whatever you succumb to at that moment is nothing more than a byproduct of the machinations of your mind. Understanding that you gave in to your mind telling you to do something that you knew was not in line with your visions, your goals, and your aspirations. You have to learn from that. That way, the next time those lures and those deviations and distractions come upon you, you can remember where you were mentally and say to yourself, I'm not doing that again. I learned from my mistake. I remember how bad I felt when I deviated from my nutritional profile. So the first failure of your transformative process is going to tell you a lot about yourself. Okay. What it's going to tell you is when you fail, did you stay there or did you get back up, learn from it, and become stronger? So that's the fourth element of my transformative process that I want to share with you. Two more. The last one, or the second to the last one, or obviously the hardest one, is maintaining. It's easier, believe it or not, to lose the weight. I lost 130 pounds. And when I went from that 330 pounds to 200 pounds, it was easier to get to the 200 than to maintain the 200. And the reason why is because as you're losing weight, seeing the scale go down, progressively drop, gives you that shot of dopamine and that happiness and that excitement, and you become addicted to it. You know, you weigh in and you see that you're lighter and that you're feeling better. And that scale is helping to keep you engaged. But see, when you reach your goal, your happiness can't be in seeing the scale drop, but it has to be in that I'm putting in the work to maintain what I've been working on. And that's activating a different part of your mindset. That means that my gratification can't be basically the scale going down, but me knowing that I'm disciplined enough to not only get to my goal, but maintaining my goal. It's the same way with success. People will tell you it's easier to get and to become successful, but it's harder to remain successful. Because when you get there, you've got to put in the same work that you've been putting in, and you still can't take any days off. You have to keep grinding. You have to keep on moving forward. You have to keep on pressing. That's the fifth element of my transformation. The sixth element of my transformation was refinement. That means when I reached my goals, I couldn't just stay there. I had to continue to study nutrition. I had to continue to try new things. I had to continue to get into things like intermittent fasting and multiple days of fastings and different cleanses and detoxes. Now, I'm not telling you to do that, but the point that I'm making is I had to continue to explore other things in order to see which things work best for my body so I could continue to refine my goals. You see, in life, when you climb a hill, the great people who've lived, all of the greats, males and females, are individuals who didn't just climb the hill and then sit back and relish in what they had already achieved. But the greats are the individuals that when they climb one hill, they look for another hill to climb and another hill to climb and another hill to climb. So I hope that my journey of losing the 130 pounds and how I've broken it down into phases can help you. And whether you're going through your transformation on your own or you're able to work with me in one of our future processes of 40 Days with Dr. Joe, I hope that this content helps you and edifies you wherever you are. Until next time, be blessed. Peace.